Thunderbolts takes over the box office. Weapons and the Smashing Machine drop trailers. DC's Sergeant Rock gets its production halted. There's a new John Wick documentary. Jeremy Renner does a podcast tour. Plus, we got a new look at Avatar 3 and so much more. May the 4th be with you, everybody. Happy Star Wars Day.
What's up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast. And this is the weekly episode of Movie News, where we go through all of the industry news so you don't have to. We watched all the trailers, read the articles, we found everything across the internet, so sit back, relax, and let us tell you what's going on in the world of film and television. And we'll start off with the box office, brought to you by movieposters.com, the number one place to get your posters online today. Be sure to use our promo code Raiders10 at movieposters.com and the affiliate link in the description of this episode. The box office was so strong this weekend. May is starting out in a hurry. Thunderbolts. Huge success. I can't believe I'm rooting for a Marvel movie for the first time in a while to be successful. I'm so glad that Thunderbolts made $80 million in its debut weekend. A little lower than the last Captain America film, but it is getting amazing reviews, word of mouth, and reactions from critics and fans alike. So Disney expects this movie to hold on really strong going forward and can easily, I think, top Brave New World's really low $220 million domestic box office. Sinners.
But hold on, importantly, Thunderbolts, which was a lot of fun, and we have an episode dropping tomorrow on the film, and we had a good time. Thunderbolts has a much smaller budget than Captain America Brave New World.
Oh, true.
Brave New World, we're looking at $350 million around there, estimated after reshoots and everything. So it's a cheaper MCU movie, more in the $150 million range, closer, and then marketing closer to $250, but still a domestic $80 million over, I think, $140 globally in its opening weekend is very strong. Really good indicator that it'll turn a profit pretty quick.
And it could be a big hit for Disney this year. Sinners also, one of the standout successes of 2025, in its third weekend, made an unbelievably impressive $33 million. It is holding on strong. The word of mouth and interest in this film is absolutely bonkers. Warner Brothers, Coogler, the entire team, what a great success with the release of this film. It's truly inspiring. It's going to make massive numbers domestic and is on pace to become the most successful domestic original movie release since Gravity in 2013.
Okay, but rated R, right?
Rated R since 2013.
Yeah, because there's definitely been bigger movies, PG-13, but rated R original domestic release also only had a 22% drop in its third weekend at the box office. Absurd numbers this movie's doing, and it's also getting re-released in 9 IMAX theaters in the 70mm projection format from May 15th to May 21st. Audiences have spoken, and Warner Brothers is listening, so obviously it's only 9 theaters that are going to continue that 70mm release. If you're in Los Angeles, you definitely have access to that at the Universal City Walk, but check out the listings of the other 8 theaters around America that are doing 70mm through that week extra.
Minecraft still is chugging away, building blocks of money with $14 million in its 5th weekend and closing in on $1 billion right underneath it, so it will absolutely hit $1 billion by next week.
What's its total box office right now?
It's like $940 million.
Oh my goodness. 816
$816
before this weekend.
Yeah, right. It's about $940, I think, right now.
Holy crap.
So next week it'll definitely hit $1 billion. Very impressive. Warner Brothers is just doing a great job this year. Minecraft and Sinners. Amazing stuff. Next up, The Accountant 2 in 4th place. Kind of a low-performing second weekend, $10 million. It's underperforming compared to the original film's box office, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a success. It doesn't seem like the word of mouth or traction is as strong as the other films. There's a lot of competition, especially with Thunderbolts coming out.
And Sinners is taking away. I mean, Sinners rated R, The Accountant 2 rated R, that's taking over box office from The Accountant 2. So I think a mix of big competition with 4 other movies that are still doing really well. Plus, for me, it didn't live up to the hype of the first film. So I think that's just going to hold it back. It's probably going to lose money.
They should have made that money a mid-range budget.
Yeah, it was a little too high around. I think it was like $80 million budget.
$90 million?
$90 million.
Yeah,
it was a big film, but there's a lot of stuff that could have ended up on the editing floor, in my opinion.
They should have kept it smaller, like John Wick's size, because it's even more expensive than John Wick movies, $90 million. Yeah. So I think they went a little too high with the budget on that one. Next up, Until Dawn, the slasher video game adaptation, in 5th place with $3.6 million, brought its total to $13 million in 2 weeks. Pretty decent earnings for a small horror film. And then we have 2 new releases in limited release. The Surfer, Nick Cage's new film, underperformed, earning $800,000 at over 800 theaters. Nobody really saw an interest in seeing this film. And then Rust, the controversial Alec Baldwin film, grossed only $25,000 in 115 theaters, meaning nobody absolutely had any interest in seeing this movie. I don't even know why they finished it and released it. It was too controversial.
They invested so much money into it.
I guess.
You gotta try to get a return on investment. So I understand why they finished it. I understand why they released it. And we're talking about a situation. This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And when you invest money, they probably had put $2 or $3 million at least into the movie already. The people who invested it, they somehow want to get their money back, and it is a very controversial film.
They aren't going to get their money back.
They're not. They only made $25,000 back. So
Dead on arrival.
DOA.
Yeah.
Until Dawn. That's its second weekend, so it's actually doing pretty good. It's grossed over $20 million worldwide.
Oh, good.
On a $15 million budget.
13 domestic, so it's going to be successful.
But Revenge of the Sith is also a big story. It has grossed $34 million domestic in its 7-day run. That's absurd.
Yeah, it's no longer in theaters, but it did post incredible numbers for its re-release. The fans came out and showed that the thirst for the old Star Wars is still there.
I think that Disney, they got to take a look at what just happened with Revenge of the Sith. And also, I think the parks are realizing that too, because they're going back to the original stories with a lot of the new stuff happening at the Disney parks and Galaxy's Edge. And so give the people what Star Wars used to be, what we used to love about it. But also, really cool news. This is our 200th episode of movie news.
Amazing.
We've been doing movie news for almost 4 years now.
It's become one of the best parts of the show, I think.
Yeah, so I think we started movie news a year and a half into the show, and now it's just been every single Sunday. It's been a lot of fun. It took a while to get traction for it, but I mean, it's every week. It's some people, they only tune in for movie news because they love it. So everyone who supports movie news on every Sunday for our show, we appreciate it so much. We're going to give away some merch for our little celebration. So anyone who leaves a comment on this video on YouTube on our movie news episode today will be entered to win a free Raiders of the Lost podcast hat. These are pretty cool, guys.
Oh, I should have worn one.
Yeah, I should have worn it.
I didn't even think to.
So if you get selected by the random selector, you'll win a hat. We'll ship it to you, so we'll keep you posted. But just all you have to do is leave a comment on the YouTube version of Movie News.
And thank you to everybody who tunes in every week to this weekly episode. We like doing the movie news because we spent our entire lives reading the news about film and TV since we were teenagers on IMDb.
Did you hear about who got cast as Bane in Dark Knight Rises? Oh my God, Tom Hardy.
And so it eventually made sense for it to be a part of the show. And since then, it's always been a reliable episode that we love doing, that fans like listening to. So thank you for tuning in every Sunday. We're glad to be a part of your Sundays every week.
Now, a little preview of upcoming box office news. So Memorial Day weekend's just around the corner. It's always a big weekend for movies. Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning are tracking to open with a combined $200 million plus domestic. That's absurd. Absurd. This will be the biggest Memorial Day weekend at the box office if that holds true. And that's only a few weeks away, really, which I'm very excited about. Mission Impossible, May 23rd, inject into my veins over and over again. I cannot wait to see that movie 7 times in theaters.
Would it be funny if it was called Mission Impossible and then Lilo and Stitch: The Final Reckoning?
Did you see what AMC theaters are doing with with Stitch?
With the preview thing?
No, there's a popcorn bucket that he pops out of for
that's cute
for people who are walking into the theater, so that they have to clean up the popcorn every time.
They also released the popcorn bucket for Mission Impossible 8.
Yes,
it looks like some kind of bomb device with the see-through glass.
It's the Entity.
Yeah, and then you can see the popcorn inside, and you need a key.
It has the gold keys.
Yeah, to unlock it. Very clever.
Oh
very
man,
cute.
I like it. It's a good popcorn bucket.
Yeah, I can't wait for that movie, man. I can't wait. But also, we got a bunch of amazing trailers this week. The Smashing Machine, Weapons, a bunch of others, some more looks at How to Train Your Dragon, Now You See Me 3, Deep Cover, Summer of '69, Wick Is Pain. So many trailers to go over. But I gotta say, I was really impressed with The Smashing Machine, coming from Benny Safdie, starring Dwayne Johnson as Mark Kerr, the famous MMA fighter during the early days of the UFC, as well as Emily Blunt starring as his wife and partner. This looks really great. Looks like an amazing, impressive sports drama. This is Safdie working on his own, and I think it's a really interesting turn for the director and actor.
Yeah, Benny's the one who acts as well, like in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and Dwayne Johnson's got some prosthetics on to look a little bit more like Mark Kerr. And man, he really disappears into the role. He's got hair. Looks, but it's physical. It's raw. It's gritty. It's reminiscent of the wrestler from Darren Aronofsky, but a little less handheld, a little bit more control. But man, I like it. It's shot on film. It looks very dramatic, and Dwayne Johnson looks like he's hungry to show the world that he's more than just action star.
More than Jumanji.
Yeah, more than Jumanji. And he's made his money, and it's really nice to see him taking an artistic turn into something more challenging as an actor. And I think from the looks of it, looks like he's really pulled off his job.
I mean, then he's going to be in Scorsese's next movie. So I think Dwayne's coming for an Oscar nomination. It's possible. He looks really good in this trailer, looks really interesting, looks intense, looks dark. It sort of feels like The Wrestler, like The Fighter as well, and even like Magazine Dreams, if anyone saw that this year. A very similar movie. And I love films about obsession and success as well as downfalls for people who, reach heights too high too quickly. So I'm looking forward to this film. It looks great.
And what's interesting is this was a time before, the early days UFC in MMA, there weren't many regulations, and it wasn't as safe as it wasn't as safe and controlled as it is now.
Brutal.
Not that it's safe, but there weren't that many rules back then. People were getting destroyed, and so
people are still wearing gis.
Yeah, yeah. So it looks like he's dealing with the physical strain on his body, and his wife's trying to also deal with that emotionally. So it looks great.
Looks awesome.
James, tell us about Weapons.
Weapons. I've been dying to see this trailer. They've been teasing it really well the last few weeks. This is from Zach Kreger, the filmmaker behind Barbarian, who's also going to be doing the new Resident Evil adaptation. So one of the hottest directors in horror right now. And this film looks great, and we got a really good look at the story. The teasing has been great. We saw little snippets. We saw an alarm clock recently. We got a poster before the trailer. But now we have a good synopsis of the trailer. Let me run into it. So in the fictional town of Maybrook, 17 children from one elementary school class mysteriously vanish at 2:17 a.m. They do the Naruto run, and they leave their homes. Leaving teacher Justine Gandy, who is played by Julia Garner, haunted and suspected because why did everyone leave her class? What about all the other classrooms? None of the kids left. A grieving parent, played by Josh Brolin, demands answers. The town spirals into paranoia, violence, and possible supernatural horror. The trailer teases a sprawling, twist-filled mystery that unravels into something far weirder than the initial disappearance. August 8th, this movie hits theaters. That's awesome news when you see that a horror movie is going to drop in summertime. They know this movie's going to be good.
The original release date, it was going to be January 2026, and they moved it into the summer.
They know it's going to be a banger. Yeah. People are going to call it an epic, a horror epic. And also Jordan Peele, I believe, fired his managers because they lost a bidding war for this film. So whoever the studio was that won the bidding war for Weapons, they put up, I think, $38 million, which includes the budget for the film, fees for screenwriter and director and producer Zach Kreger, as well as some other things, I think some marketing as well.
That was like the price of the whole package.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some people thought that it was just for the script. No, that's the entire package for the movie to get made.
Yeah, that kind of sale, those sales happen at film festivals, where the movie's been made already, and they buy the rights to distribute the film. This was the package for making the movie.
And so Jordan Peele was not happy that him and Monkey Paw, his production company, lost the bidding war for Weapons because he knew this was going to be a banger.
It's kind of like John Hamm and how he threatened his agents about Top Gun Maverick.
What did he do?
Well, Tom Cruise expressed interest in getting John Hamm in the movie. And then then John Hamm's agents are like, so yeah, we're going to negotiate and we're trying to get you this much. And John's like, he said to them, I don't care what the money is, just get me the job. I don't care. If I don't get this job, you're all fired. He's like, I want to do this no matter what.
When Tom Cruise calls, baby, you say yes.
You say yes to Top Gun Maverick. It's so funny. He was on the Howard Stern show. He did that interview. It's a really good interview.
Tom's a unicorn too. Yeah. Like A-list celebrities, Tom Cruise is a unicorn even to them.
Yeah, it's great. He was like, just don't lose this job for me, please. I will do it.
I will murder you all.
All right, some really fun news. We've been talking about Robert Rodriguez recently because he's been doing a lot of tours for his new book and stuff.
I like how tours are now podcasts.
Yeah, it's the future of marketing.
We'll talk about Jeremy Renner in a bit too.
Rodriguez confirmed that Alita Battle Angel 2 is not dead. It is very much still alive, and he said that he and James Cameron are dying to make the sequel happen as soon as possible. So
I think that's why he's never destroyed his sets.
Yeah, exactly. He still has, we saw the set in person. It's still there. He's still got all the props. He's got everything there, all the costumes. He wants to do it. James Cameron wants to do it. So I think he's trying to get the word out there. I think this is an instance, we see this happen a lot where actors or directors will poke the media, be like, hey, I want to do this. And it might get some fuel for fire for him to go to the studio and be like, there's interest in this movie. We should make it happen. So I hope sometime soon we get an announcement for Alita Battle Angel 2 coming out.
That's
We'll
how
see.
Justice League Zack Snyder version got made.
Yeah.
Just 2 years of engagement of people wanting it, and then like, fine, do it.
That's how a lot of things get made, people.
But also, it was lockdown and there's nothing going on.
That's how Keanu and Francis Lawrence got Constantine too. He kept talking about it.
Yes, sir. We got a great new look at 28 years later. We have an episode dropping pretty soon on 28 days later and 28 weeks later to get everyone up to speed on the trilogy that's about to drop. And we're really excited about this. This great new look has an image of Ralph Fiennes holding what looks to be like a recently bleached and boiled skull of a human or possibly an infected that he's handing to what looks like a young boy. Is this the boy that Aaron Taylor Johnson's son?
Yeah.
So it looks like obviously when they go out, they're going to discover that Ralph Fiennes, I think, is probably living on his own in some sort of tribe or something. Near the Bone Temple.
I can clarify that a little bit.
Okay, but this connects to the Bone Temple imagery we've been seeing.
So the temple's in the background. Ralph Fiennes plays a doctor, so it seems as though he's been investigating what's going on with the new infected, the evolved infected. So maybe
Gotcha.
there's something in the brain that gives him some idea of what's happening. That's my guess for what that scene is.
Interesting.
But he plays the doctor on his own.
Okay.
He's been surviving alone. All right, next up. Caught Stealing. Darren Aronofsky's new film released first official images. There's been a ton of images online of on-set photos, but we got official looks of movie stills and high-quality on-set photography.
Not stills, on-set photography.
Austin Butler, Matt Smith, Zoe Kravitz, Bad Bunny, and Regina King star in this film. I love it. It looks awesome. Follows a former baseball player who gets caught up in a criminal scheme while pet-sitting his punk rock neighbor's cat. Cat movie alert. There's been a lot of cat movies lately, like bad cat movies.
It looks good.
The Accountant 2 had a cat in it.
It looks really good. It looks spicy. I think Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz look like they're going to be having a steamy relationship in this movie.
Oh, for sure.
Two very hot people having a hot relationship. It's going to be fun. And also...
It's going to be hot.
I think it looks really interesting. There's shots of him with a baseball bat. There's shots of him like falling out of a car. Like, this is going to be really cool. I'm really excited about this. It's a really interesting idea. Can't wait. I'm sure the screenplay is fantastic for all these people to sign on. And I'm just so curious about a trailer for this coming out soon, hopefully.
He looks like a baseball player.
Yeah, he's got like the
looks like a
Giants hat on.
Yeah.
It looks like I think he's a baseball player who's bartender now.
Yeah, he looks like he's a pitcher.
Kind of, yeah.
Or shortstop.
All right, let's talk about Jeremy Renner. So he's also been on a podcast tour. He's been retelling his crazy story of survival and the most harrowing escape of death, basically, and the will to fight to get back to walking again because he's back and incredibly on his feet. It's really crazy what he's been through. So if you're curious more about the story, he's been doing a bunch of podcasts. But he also talked about how he turned down doing Hawkeye Season 2 because Disney gave him a low offer. And so they offered him half his salary to return for Hawkeye Season 2. And this is a quote from Jeremy Renner. They asked me to do Season 2, and they offered me half the money. And I'm like, wow, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money. And so 8 months of my time, essentially, and I have to do that for half the amount. I'm like, why? Because you think I'm half the Jeremy because I got ran over. And this is not Marvel, mind you. This is Disney, not just really Disney. It's just their penny pinchers and accountants. I told them to go fly a kite. I mean, just at that insult offer, so we didn't see eye to eye on that. I didn't ask for any more money. Mind you, just pay me what I made the first season. So it's a little disheartening that didn't happen, but it's fine. I'm happy to let that go because maybe my body's probably thanking me time and time again that I'm not doing it right now.
Pay the man his money.
Pay the man his money.
Pay that
fucking Jeremy Renner, man.
Pay him, like, why would you pay him less than you already paid him?
That's so crazy that's how a lot of, I think, industries work, especially something with acting and actors where something horrible happens to somebody and maybe from their perspective, he's not the same guy, but he's fucking still Jeremy Renner, man.
In terms of marketing, he's improved the marketing of the film automatically. So you should give him a raise.
Plus, like we saw with Thunderbolts, I think we all have a thirst for the Avengers and old crew and casts of the MCU franchise that we miss dearly.
Yeah.
Like Bucky kicking ass in Thunderbolts, which we hadn't really seen him do quite that effectively in a while.
I'm sure he got paid a lot for the first season, but he's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It's a Hawkeye show.
Exactly.
He's the guy. He's Hawkeye.
It's like you're not going to pay MJ more than Spider-Man.
Yeah, we talk about
It's not MJ and Spider-Man.
It's not Mary Jane Watson. It's called Spider-Man. I'm sorry, actresses, you're great, but like Spider-Man makes more money than MJ. This is the way it goes.
Makes more money than Doc Ock.
Yeah,
it's
makes way more money than Doc Ock.
It's not called Doc Ock.
Yeah.
It's not called Green Goblin.
He made more money than everybody on that
called
set.
Mysterio.
He made more money than everybody.
It's called Spider-Man.
Nobody makes more than Spider-Man on a Spider-Man set.
No one.
This is the way it is.
Except for the executive producers.
Oh, yeah. If it performs. All right, next up, Twinning. We got Twinless, which is the Sundance hit starring Dylan O'Brien and James Sweeney.
This was a jury award winner, right?
Jury award, audience award winner. Not the jury award, audience award.
Winner, sorry.
And this is about a twin self-help group about twins who have lost their twin. And so they've all come together to the self-help group to heal. And it follows two friends who meet in this twin bereavement support group and form an unlikely bond. Twinless.
Maybe they become twins.
Also, Dylan O'Brien is our doppelganger, people say.
People say it.
People say we look like we.
People say I think there's maybe something to that.
Twinning with Dylan.
Twinning with Dylan. All right, we saw a new trailer, also some images, and a poster for Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Clever title for the third film in the franchise. We got our first look at the returning cast with Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, as well as new looks at Dominic Sessa, his biggest movie since Holdovers, Ariana Greenblatt, Rosamund Pike, and Justice Smith. This hits theaters November 14th.
I don't know about this one. Doesn't look that good.
It feels like they were trying to do an Ocean's movie with a heist.
It was always heist.
Always heist, but this is like a
bigger heist.
Bigger heist. It's like Ocean's 8.
Yeah, I was not.
I've honestly never seen any of these movies before.
I've never seen them either.
So let us know if they're good, guys, and we'll check them out. But I've never watched a Now You See Me movie. I've just seen clips and scenes.
Are you going to check them out?
If people are like, bro, they're awesome, then maybe I will.
Maybe
I will.
Now we got a maybe.
I'll see if I can fit into my busy schedule.
He's a busy guy.
Busiest guy in LA. You all know this.
All right, next up, we got a new behind-the-scenes featurette on How to Train Your Dragon, as well as new posters for the remake in theaters June 13th. They're going to start dropping IMAX posters, Dolby posters. It looks awesome. There's one. It looks like it's going to be the main poster is Hiccup on Toothless flying up with the font of the movie title behind them on the top of the frame, and it's great. It's all you need for the poster.
The posters look great.
Yeah,
they really do. What also looks great, and I still can't believe these aren't real living creatures, is our first look at Neytiri in Avatar Fire and Ash. She's very angry, and she's pulling her bow for an arrow. And I mean, even just the detail of her skin, but also the detail of her teeth, where like her teeth, they look incredible. Like there's a crooked one on the bottom row. Like a lot of people have not perfectly straight teeth. It's just absolutely absurd. I still can't believe every time I see an image or a trailer or anything from Avatar that these are not real living creatures. I'm so stoked for this in December. I cannot wait.
Look, it looks like a real thing.
It looks like a real being.
Yeah, it looks like a real thing.
Fuck, like, you see the teeth?
Wild. That's wild.
It's crazy.
It's wild. Next up, we got a bunch of new trailers. The first one is The Holy Trinity, which is a Western starring Sam Jackson and Pierce Brosnan.
Unholy trilogy.
The Unholy Trilogy. Yeah. Sam Jackson, Pierce Brosnan star. This is about gold hunting and a bunch of pistol-wielding outlaws and sheriffs looking for hidden gold that a young man knows is the location of. And Sam Jackson kind of plays a villain in this, it looks like.
Is this a studio for a streamer, or is this a
This is going to be a theatrical release nationwide. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never even heard of this movie.
Nor have I, and the trailer looks okay.
It could be just one of those movies, a lot of aging stars, they do a lot of these like one-off action movies just to get a paycheck.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
How dare you say that about Sam Jackson and Pierce Brosnan?
They've both done it.
Old aging has-been actors.
I never said has-been. I said they're old and aging, which are true facts. True facts.
It is true.
They're both as gray as a polar bear.
What? A gray polar bear?
Yeah, polar bears sometimes gray, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're just awesome dudes.
Yeah, they're nice guys.
It's like the Morgan Freeman, Jack Nicholson movies.
Oh, I know. I know you're right. I'm just saying, yeah. There's not that many good roles for older people.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Can't all be Morgan Freeman.
Let's talk about Deep Cover. We got a trailer for this as well, starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Orlando Bloom, Sean Bean, Patty Constantine. What a cast. It's about improv actors who are hired by detectives to track criminals. We talked about this like a couple weeks ago. That's right.
It looks pretty funny.
It's funny.
It looks pretty good.
Silly.
Yeah, it looks like a fun comedy. This is an Amazon Prime movie. Next up, Summer of '69, this year's sex worker movie. A girl gets sex advice from a sex worker in order to land the boy she has a crush on in school.
So it's a high school movie?
Yeah, it's a high school movie, and Chloe, I can't remember her last name from SNL. She's playing the sex worker. It looks actually pretty sweet. It's cute. It's like a cute comedy.
A cute comedy?
Yeah, about sex. This girl's like a dorky girl, but she's obsessed with this guy, and she thinks that because someone spreads a rumor, and she thinks that this guy is into 69ing. So then she's trying to figure out what is 69ing and how do I do it so that I impress him and get him to like me.
Chloe Feynman.
Feynman, yeah, thank you. So then she hires the sex worker to give her advice on how to 69 and stuff.
It's pretty funny.
It looks pretty cute. It looks pretty cute.
Did you see this trailer for Wick Is Pain?
It was very inspiring.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's a new documentary releasing on May 9th, and it's basically about the John Wick franchise, but mostly focusing on the first film and the turmoils, the issues, the production almost halting, and all of the drama that went into making this movie that no one thought would work. And it's really cool to see how everyone behind the scenes was like, we're fucked. Are people going to want to watch this? Is it going to come out good? Not to mention, everyone knows the story. Ava Longoria saved the production because they're like a week up from shooting. An investor dropped out and they needed like $6 or $7 million. And they're like, the movie's going to shut down. And we're going to let Keanu Reeves down. And then Ava Longoria saves the movie. So that's in there. But also, I love seeing the perspective of Chad Stahelski and David Leitch behind the scenes on set of everything going wrong, which is really cool because we never got really that close of a good BTS look at the drama behind this movie. So it looks awesome. It looks like fun. Keanu looks like he's so happy to talk about it, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's crazy that, everyone loves John Wick, but they went through like a war to get that movie made, and it almost got shut down completely. It's crazy to think of that now. Unbelievable. Like now it's just like Lionsgate throws money at them. They're happy to make as many John Wick movies as possible.
Yeah. I think some really big news, though, is Luca Guadagnino's Sergeant Rock, the DC film, has been halted. This movie's supposed to start filming this summer pretty soon, but the pre-production's been shut down for now. Multiple outlets, including the Wrap, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, have reported that Warner Brothers and DC Studios are either scrapping or halting pre-production. They don't really have an answer yet. There's no definitive thing, but we do know that the pre-production has been stopped. Colin Farrell, Mike Faist, and David Johnson were all set to star in this movie.
Good cast.
It was going to be directed by Luca, and the script was written by Justin Kuritzkis, who previously collaborated and wrote Challengers and Queer, and supposedly the script's fantastic. It doesn't really connect with James Gunn and Safran's DC universe of superhero stuff, but it was that good of a script that they're like, let's do this as a movie. And the story would reportedly involve a quest for the mystical Spear of Destiny.
The Spear of Destiny.
Spear of Destiny. Blending historical intrigue with high-stakes action, potentially in a Dan Brown-esque thriller style, set during World War II. It would be an action war movie as well. Conflicting reports are saying that it's going to be reassessed and potentially filmed next summer. So no one really knows exactly why the movie got shut down publicly right now. I think it's all kept under wraps, whatever the drama is. But this is kind of a bummer because I think this is going to be one of the more interesting movies coming out of DC.
I'm not sure I believe that it's been shut down, and maybe it's just been delayed because you have a bunch of high-profile pieces that want to make this film. It does, and it seems like it has a huge potential for a good return. So it doesn't seem like this. I
think halted or paused is the right word.
I think that just delayed might be the thing. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it was like a little too over budget, and they're trying to readjust. But when you got Luca wanting to make a movie for you and that cast, I mean, you make the movie.
And that script is supposed to be great.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I didn't know that. From what I don't know anything about Sergeant Rock, but I like the mythological, fantastical element to it. Sounds fun. Fucking love that shit. Anyways, Jurassic World Rebirth news: the mutant dinosaur in the new film is called the Distortus Rex. D-Rex. Distortus Rex.
Like distorted.
Yeah. Rex.
Distortus Rex.
D-Rex. It's kind of like if the T-Rex was designed by H.R. Geiger And then that whole thing had sex with a Rancor.
So H.R. Giger, who was behind the designs of the Xenomorph and Alien, FYI.
David Koepp explains, this differs from previous Jurassic World installments, saying they were exploring what would it be like if dinosaurs were in our environment. We wanted to explore how it felt like to go back to theirs. Finally, that's what we've been asking for, guys.
David Koepp knows what's up.
That's what we've been asking for. Enough with the other stuff. No more clones.
No more dinosaur auctions.
Yeah, no more dino auctions and locusts. No more locusts. I don't ever want to see another locust the rest of my life.
Dev Patel has set his next starring directing role with The Peasant. He's set to star and direct this new revenge action thriller. The film follows a shepherd in the 1300s who embarks on a rage-fueled campaign against a group of mercenary knights who ransacked his community.
Sounds cool, man. I love it.
Let's go.
I love
Period Piece Knights.
Yeah, I love that shit. That sounds really cool. Next up, Rip News. This is the Joe Carnahan film starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. We got new looks of the cast who play a group of Miami cops who discover millions in cash in a derelict stash house, releasing later this year on Netflix. Can't wait. Our boys.
Yeah, the image looks great, and they're both, they're partners on this police force. It's pretty cool. Isn't he shooting something else or?
Carnahan?
Yeah,
he's something of his is coming out soon.
He's a pretty busy guy.
He's got
right
two
now.
movies coming out within a small time frame.
Not Without Hope. Yeah.
That just came out, I think, or something. He posted about it. It's done. He posted about it on Instagram. So he posted the rap.
Pretty cool. We got a new look at Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, releasing on Netflix later this year. That's
Deja vu.
Pretty exciting.
This is a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought this was coming to theaters. Huh.
Kind of bummed.
I mean, maybe it'll be in theaters, limited.
Select theaters. Yeah, we'll see it.
Yeah, one will play in L.A.
Yeah.
Everything plays in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, news about Knives Out 3. Rian Johnson says he wants the next Knives Out movie, Knives Out 3, to be in as many theaters for as long as possible, actually piggybacking off of that. He said he's going to push for everything we can in terms of theatrical release because I want as many people as possible to see it in that form.
Double-edged sword. I mean, it's Netflix. Yeah. Netflix doesn't want to release movies in theaters.
Yeah.
And I understand that Netflix is willing to give money to filmmakers to do their projects, their passion projects that studios won't, that are doing theatrical release only. So, I mean, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
I would love to see this movie in theaters too.
Yeah.
But
maybe they will.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they will.
We'll see. I mean, Greta was able to make the deal with IMAX.
Yeah.
With Netflix.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they weren't too happy about. But
I don't think that. I think an issue that nobody is talking about is that I don't think theater exhibitors want to collaborate with Netflix.
I mean, if it makes money, it makes money. At the end of the day, it keeps the lights on.
But I feel like they're rivals. I'm not sure theaters want to collaborate.
I wouldn't see them as rivals to an extent. I would see that Netflix, if they can release in theaters and do streaming release at the same time, it's beneficial for everyone.
Well, yeah. I guess. If
I was a theater owner, I wouldn't see Netflix as my rival because Netflix is its own business. It's not like they changed the world. The world was going that direction anyways.
Yeah.
It's not like, if anything, it's the studios that weren't putting their movies in theaters and are doing streaming platforms now. That would be like that. That's what, if I was a theater owner, would piss me off.
Yeah, but theater owners were mad about the IMAX deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying is that studios abandoning movie theaters versus Netflix always has been a streamer.
For sure, yeah. Studios did abandon theaters for a few years.
They did.
Big mistake, guys.
Miami Vice, we're getting a new movie. Not Michael Mann directing, but Joseph Kosinski is set to direct with Dan Gilroy writing the script. That's a really good combo.
Good team.
We don't know who's going to come back, if it's going to be Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx again, but we'll see.
It'd be pretty cool if they did.
That'd be
Get that stash back.
It's pretty fun. Pretty fun.
All right, next up. Matthew Lillard has been cast in Mike Flanagan's remake Carrie series.
He's having the biggest boom in his career, Matthew Lillard. He's all over the place.
What else is he in? He's in the new
Five
Scream?
Nights at Freddy's and Screams and Carries and a couple other projects
I've never
too.
seen Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, he's like booming the last few years, man.
Good for him, man. Feel a little woozy at Billy.
Did you really call my mom? Rapture news, new film. Will Poulter, Kit Connor, and Manu Rios will star in a new medieval zombie horror film called Rapture. Another film set in 1300s. Set in 1300s medieval England, follows a group of monks whose fragile peace is disrupted by news of a plague, turning its victims into zombies.
Monks versus zombies.
I should have made them knights.
Yeah, I don't know about monks.
Why
Are they
monks?
gonna be warriors? Maybe it's funny too. I don't know. Maybe it's like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies or something.
I guess. Or, I mean, you could still have a dramatic movie about survival with monks.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's a good looking set of monks.
Very hot monks. Hot monks.
All right, next up, there's an Elephant Man film in the works, and Adam Pearson, the actor from A Different Man and Under the Skin, has been cast as Joseph Merrick, previously played by John Hurt in the David Lynch film.
Really cool.
Good casting.
This is going to be a really, really interesting film.
Yeah.
I think it's a great job.
It's hard to, I mean, that's, I think, an unbelievable movie, so it's going to be hard to come even close to that.
Yeah, I think they'll just focus on doing a new adaptation of the play.
Maybe.
That's all. I don't think it's going to be a remake. I think it's just a new adaptation.
Yeah.
You know. Moving on to Bunker. We have a married couple teaming up here. Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz. They're going to star in Bunker together, with Florian Zeller set to direct. The psychological thriller follows a woman who begins to question her marriage to an architect after he accepts a morally ambiguous project to build a survivalist bunker for a billionaire.
Interesting. Love to see them on screen together. Next up, Crime 101. Chris Hemsworth, new film starring Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry, and Barry Keoghan, will release February 13th in 2026 in theaters. It follows jewel thieves going around the Pacific Coast with a detective hot on their heels. February is not a great release date, but isn't that Valentine's Day the next day, February 14th?
Sure is, every year.
Maybe it's a romantic movie, so maybe it actually is a good release date for the film. might be some steamy stuff.
Maybe
in that
the
too.
tone is very light.
Yeah, maybe there must be romance if they're releasing it for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think
That'll be
you're
part
right.
of the marketing, like Companion did.
Like maybe Halle Berry and Mark Ruffalo are...
No. It's Hemsworth and Barry, man. Chris
Sure.
Hemsworth and Halle Berry. That's what people want.
Because Halle Berry's definitely the detective.
Yeah, people don't want
Definitely.
it. People don't want to see Mark Ruffalo and Halle Berry. They want to like hooking up. We want to see Hemsworth and Halle Berry hooking up. Just say it. Just say it.
But that's a really good point. There has to be romance involved. If
Yeah, if
it's
it's a
gonna
Valentine's Day movie, it's definitely romantic.
be... Interesting. Also, Monica Barbara's in this.
Cool.
Oh, there's going to be definitely a couple ships in this.
Yeah. they're shipping them. They're shipping them.
Be a couple ships in that movie.
All right, next up, we have news about Hot Ted. This stars Ella Purnell, Ariana Greenblatt, and Billy Magnuson. This is a new comedy which follows a true crime podcast enthusiast, Zoe, sent to summer camp and becomes convinced the camp counselor is behind another counselor's disappearance.
All right. Uncanny Valley. New movie. Natasha Lyonne is going to write and direct Uncanny Valley. She will also star in the film alongside Britt Marling. The film will blend traditional live action with a major use of AI, using a program built only on data that has been copyright cleared. I don't know.
No,
I don't know what I
thanks.
think about this.
I'm good without that.
Especially, well, Uncanny Valley, if anyone doesn't know, is that term that is associated with artificial imagery, or that is so close to being human looking, but it's off, and we just know that there's something off about it. But it's like, it looks human or it looks real, but our eyes and our minds just know that something's off about it because it's fake. It's like just on that cusp, that line.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what this movie will be about, or like, and I wonder if people will protest because AI is going to be used.
I don't think that it's going to have a good reaction at all. I don't think so. All right, next up, we got Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor in the house. First images for The History of Sound were released. This follows the relationship between two men who traveled together in the summer of 1919 to record folk songs. Man, I love it. Give me more. I love these guys.
Folk is hot.
Folk's so hot. So hot.
Chris Hemsworth news again. Subversion. He's going to star in this film, a new action movie directed by Patrick Vollrath, described as Die Hard on a submarine.
Another Die Hard movie.
Isn't he too big to be like sneaking around a submarine? He's a massive guy.
Well, I mean, I've never been in a submarine. They might be big inside.
Pretty close quarters, but I guess there are big
I
components.
don't think he's Thor 4 size right now.
He's always big. What are you talking about? Yeah, he is.
Thor 4 size?
Dude, he's filming right now.
Yeah, but is he Thor 4 size?
I saw a behind the scenes photo. He's pretty big. He's always big.
I know he's always big.
I guess
but
he's
I'm
not
saying-
Thor 4.
I'm saying Thor 4 was like, I think that's the biggest he'll ever be is Thor 4.
He's pretty massive.
I don't
in that
think
movie.
I don't think you can get bigger than that at that age without a bunch of candy.
I mean, he's still a big guy.
I'm not saying he's not a
But
big
he is
guy.
filming right now for Doomsday.
I'm sure he's in great shape. I'm not saying he weighs $160.
In his leg.
All right, next up, news about Shogun Season 2 has been released. Hiroyuki Sanada and Cosmo Jarvis have been tapped to reprise their roles. This will be set 10 years after the events of Season 1, and filming begins in January. People are going to be very excited.
Look at this news. Brad Pitt's going to be in an A24 movie.
Wow.
From director of Conclave, Edward Berger, who also did All Quiet on the Western Front. It's called The Riders. The Riders is an adaptation of Tim Winton's novel of the same name. It follows a man who travels around Europe with his daughter looking for their wife and mother who has gone missing.
Sign me up, man. Burger and Pitt, let's go. Give me a Pitt burger.
Brad Pitt in an A24 movie.
Who would have thunk it?
That's pretty cool.
Wow. Pretty cool. Next up, another look at a Josh O'Connor film. The Mastermind from Kelly Reichardt stars Josh O'Connor and Lana Heim, and this follows an audacious art heist set during the Vietnam War. I love it. Give me more Josh O'Connor, man. Give me the more the better.
We got some more Jake Gyllenhaal coming up next with Conor McGregor. Roadhouse 2 is getting made, and Guy Ritchie has been set to direct the film. Let's go.
Work with your friends.
Yeah.
Work with your friends. All right. Yorgos Lanthimos' new film, Bugonia, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, will officially release in theaters on October 31st for Halloween season. The film follows two conspiracy-obsessed men who kidnap a major CEO, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying Earth. This is going to be a remake of another film, and it looks absolutely bonkers.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Let's talk about Rats! Exclamation point. Rats!
Why do you want to talk about Rats?
A new survival horror film called Rats is in the works at Lionsgate. The film follows New York City in a race against time to stop a killer rat infestation unlike anything the world has ever seen. So basically, just like if you filmed iPhone footage in New York City right now.
I don't think anyone's going to see this movie. Who wants to watch a movie
Maybe the script's really good.
Maybe it's funny. Maybe it's a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me, remember that movie with the guy and he had like a bunch of rats that were his friends?
Yeah, Wilbert.
Wilbert?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound right. Wilbert?
Wilfred?
Wilbert doesn't. I think it's definitely a weird name.
What's
Crispin Glover's in it? Search Crispin Glover rat movie.
Willard.
I was
You're
close.
I was pretty fucking close.
Yeah, that was a weird movie. I remember we saw that.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. That's just what I thought of immediately.
Oh, I guess in Willard was also a remake.
Oh. People, I guess, love rats.
The original was 1971, and Willard came out in 2003. Whoa.
Yeah, we saw that in theaters. All right, news about Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. The Speed duo are reuniting to star in a new romantic thriller
Called Speed.
Steve. Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Don't know what it's going to be called. All right, cool.
Finally, we get to see them live out their romance some more.
The final bit of news is Josh Hutcherson related. He's been cast in a new comedy series written, executive produced, and starring Rachel Sennett. Oh, this is the Rachel Sennett show on HBO, which follows.
I think it's Sennett. Rachel Sennett.
No, it's Sennett.
It's Sennett.
Yeah, I watched an interview where she said Sennett.
Thank you for. I'm sorry I questioned you.
Yeah, it's all good. Now you know.
It just seems like it's like sounds fancy.
Sennett,
seems like it.
Sennett, Rachel Sennett. The series follows a codependent friend group that reunites. HBO release later this year. I think it's still called the Untitled Rachel Sennett Project or show.
Cool.
But Josh Hutcherson is in the cast. I always think his name's Hutchinson.
I thought it was Hutchinson too.
It's just
Who's Hutchinson? There's
No
a
one.
Hutchinson.
I mean, probably, but I mean, Josh
Wait.
Hutcherson.
It's not Josh Hutchinson.
It's Hutcherson.
Who is Hutchinson? I'm searching Hutchinson.
Hutchinson actor. No one.
Doug Hutchinson.
No one in the world's named Hutchinson. Andrew.
Doug Hutchinson, obviously. He's the creepy guy from the Green Mile. The guy who's he's the weird trainee, and he purposely executes a guy without the water over his head, so it fries him up. That guy's name's Doug Hutchinson.
He's also in Con Air.
Yeah.
He's the guard, Percy Wetmore. That's who he is.
I thought it was Josh Hutchinson too. I always call him Josh Hutchinson.
Sorry we got that.
Sorry,
we
Josh.
cleared that up. We cleared up Rachel Sennett's name pronunciation, and then Josh Hutcherson, not Hutchinson. really big stuff happening on movie news today.
Only for a 200th episode.
For our 200th episode.
We spared no expense.
I watched Jurassic Park the other day. It's great. It's so fun. He says it like 9 times. It's so fun.
I used to say that to you all the time.
You still do. That wraps our 200th episode of Movie News. Thank you so much for everyone sticking with us for years now. I mean, this is crazy.
For 300 years.
We're almost 4 years of Movie News, which is absurd. We appreciate you all so much. Stay tuned for Thunderbolts tomorrow on Monday. It's a really good episode. A lot of fun breaking that down. Upcoming more movies, episodes, biggest twists in movies ever. We're going to do 28 Days Later versus 28 Weeks Later very soon, breaking down those two movies before the release of 28 Years Later. Lots cooking.
And next week on Movie News, I'll be in London.
Anthony's going. Yeah, he's going to England
so
today.
I'll have a new set and everything, but it'll still be high quality, in high definition and good audio.
Yeah.
But I'll be in a new location.
When a lot of you are listening to this, Anthony will be flying on a plane.
He'll be
going to England.
Yeah, I'm flying to England Sunday afternoon, and I'll have a 12-hour flight on Virgin Atlantic. My first time flying Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah, it's a pretty good plane. Yeah, it's
okay.
a good time. It's very comfortable.
It looks comfortable. Great reviews, and the food looks pretty good.
The lighting's nice inside too.
Is it like warm and
red?
red?
It's vibrant. They'll do like pink and blue, but then sometimes they'll change it depending on sometimes they'll do like warm if the sun's rising, or they'll cool it down at nighttime for your eyes, for your brain.
I can't wait
to simulate.
Did you know that Richard Bronson, who owns Virgin, he started out selling used records. It was Virgin Records.
That's right.
In the 70s.
That's crazy.
And now he owns like billions and billions of dollars worth of different businesses. It's crazy.
Pretty wild. Anyways. Thank you so much for that anecdote, Anthony. The rest of y'all.
Pretty fascinating.
May the 4th be with you. Please like, subscribe, comment on all platforms. On YouTube, we'd love your subscription as well. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Become a patron at patreon.com/Raiders of Lost Podcast. And take care, everybody.
See you next time.